A lot of people have their note takers joining us too. Welcome to the world of AI. I think it's a great indicator of the need when we have so many people joining us. Thank you so much for being here with all of us today. Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you for kicking that off. Everyone can definitely share in the chat if you like. Introduce yourself, where you're from. Also, if you haven't gotten a chance to look at the list that we sent for people to write in their needs and the resources available, you have the link on the handy. And I'm also putting the direct link to that sheet right. Mhm. Marissa, does it look like more people are joining or?
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's give it a couple minutes just to see if more people join.
okay. Anyone know a good song to sing while we're waiting? We forgot our music.
Jackie and Marissa, is there a space on this sheet for us to respond, or do you want us to wait on that?
The document with the needs and the resources? Yeah,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and start filling it out. Absolutely. Are you able to get in it?
Oh, I'm able to get in
Oh,
it. I was
yeah.
just saying if there's things that we notice in there, like I'm seeing folks are having childcare as a need. Like, we're providing free emergency childcare right now at a dozen YMCA centers. So I'm
Nice.
just wondering if we can start to meet, if we see needs that we can meet, where do you want us to start to contribute that?
Absolutely. That's a great point. So we're gonna talk about the sheet, but yeah, while we're waiting, for sure, there's two tabs. One is if you have the needs, you can put them there. If you have the resources, put that there. In an independent way, ideally, people would go on the sheet if they have a need and look you guys up. Or you can do the vice versa. We have something to offer and contact people who have the needs. We're also going to give space today in breakout rooms by area. So you will have some opportunity to talk to people today who are actually here. But moving forward, you know, definitely accessing the sheet is good, is the goal, that we're constantly using the sheet to connect to each other. Does that help? I hope that helps. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you to everyone who started filling it out already.
Okay, we have 130 folks on. Should we just start?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us last minute. I'm Luca Lanche. I'm the executive director of ExpandLA. We are a countywide intermediary organization that supports the out of school time organizations. And our focus is basically children, youth, and their families. So we thought that as a convener, this would be an appropriate role for us to try to convene folks. We started talking to different organizations, some sharing that they had resources such as staff personnel that they wanted to share with those that needed it. We also heard from organizations that had needs, so we thought, let's put a delayed meeting together.
A encontrar a los despiertos. Okay.
Somebody needs to go on mute.
Yeah.
Can you take the agenda down just for a sec? Yeah. So the goal for today is to start creating a place, a space where folks can share what they need. Folks can share what they have and start making those connections. And also I've been getting emails from foundations. They're happy that we're doing this because they're saying like who's kind of collecting all the information about need and if we want to help. So that sheet that we've been talking about, what you need, that'll help us to share with some of the foundations, philanthropy that want to help. So we're just trying to be a convener and organizer for the nonprofits that are out there doing the work. And, there's the work that's happening in the critical, fire areas and the areas that have been decimated. But then there's the work that's happening as a result of schools being closed. So kind of the after the aftermath of like, the critical incident, like all the other things that happen as a result. So there's like different tiers of need, and we just want to connect the resources to the need, and then also find, there's companies, there's a lot of people that want to help, but there isn't a coordinated effort, and that's what we're trying to do here at this time. So thank you so much for hopping on last minute. It looks like we have over 140 folks on board. That's amazing. And the goal is that if we keep doing this to support each other, we can mobilize faster and better. We've also reached out to elected officials, invited them to the call. So so that we're connecting, to the people that have the resources. So thank you again. And then I'm going to turn it over to Jackie.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. So I think we wanted to, well, I think we could do maybe just some initial reactions or anything to share with the large group for a couple minutes, since Lou will be in the large group with everybody. And then we're going to break out into breakout rooms so people can start networking and sharing resources. But I just wanted to give a little space for a couple minutes. Does anybody have any initial thoughts or reactions to what Lou was just talking about?
I'll add a little bit, Jackie. So as we were talking yesterday, kind of planning this call, I think one of the things we want to know is, especially from those of you who are in the most impacted communities, so that we can identify what the real needs are right now, because we also know that your teams or your organizations are impacted. So how can we kind of air traffic control resources among organizations to get supplies, staff, services to those areas that are greatest impact? And then so I think that's part of it. And then I think also really thinking deeply about what each of us has to offer, right? I have a lot of staff, right, that are already being called into school sites and things like that, but most of my staff are in areas that are not as deeply impacted, right? So for example, so just to give a couple of of examples of how we might be able to coordinate and collaborate. to make sure that those needs are met. And we know, right, we know it's impacting different neighborhoods and areas of Los Angeles in drastically different ways right now as well. And then I think, right, thinking acutely about the short-term needs, and then we will eventually think long-term about, right, we have a major housing crisis that has been significantly compounded over the last few days, et cetera, et cetera. So I just wanted to maybe bring a couple of concrete examples of how we might, right, or those of us that are collecting supplies, how do we get those to the agencies that are really, really closest to the ground? But I think a lot of listening, especially for those of you that are closest to the impacted areas.
Yeah, thanks, Julie. Yeah, anyone else have anything you want to comment on? I can't necessarily see everybody, so if you want to, you could just jump in if you like.
And Jackie, you're going to talk about the sheet, right?
Yes, we're gonna talk about the sheet for sure. I just wanted to see if anybody had any
I can add really quick. Hi, everybody. My name is Greta Wetzel. I'm the Senior Advisor for Psychosocial Support at Save the Children, and we are a national and international organization. We have some programming in California, nothing in LA directly. The closest is Lake LA, but we respond to disasters. So I'm so thankful to be on here with everybody. And this needs list is going to be really important because of the size and scale of our organization. We're able to have lots of reach to different donors that have not gifts in kind that they would like to give. So we're really happy to see this, and if it's okay, we can also, tell you all what we have available and could send to everybody. So so thanks for allowing us to be a part of this, and thanks.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. Anybody else have something for the larger group before we do the breakout?
I do. Oh,
Yes. You guys just
Sure.
hand up.
I'll go if
Okay.
it's okay. Matu Taylor from Stars in Pasadena. I put in the chat already that Pasadena, Altadena area, I can only speak for that, has already come together. We have a pretty good collaborative between our nonprofits, our elected school board, and clergy. And so they've already met and meeting regularly. So we have some of this for that area. I can't speak to any other area. And so I'm going to be putting in the chat. And so maybe you could integrate from what's been provided from that collective into this larger piece that you guys are putting together in the sheet. So I'll put it there for everybody
Okay,
to.
great. And when we break into the breakout rooms, we're doing that one area specifically. So maybe that group can look at like, what can we do, to your point of supporting what you're already doing? And if there's anything ExpandLA can do, that can help what you're already
Yeah,
doing.
and definitely interested in any foundation and funding that, would be able to help support some of the needs that are not being addressed yet, as of yet. And I will say this, also knowing that we're very much half-staffed because most of our organizations, even leaders, have lost their homes and been displaced. So just that's very helpful as well. So it's kind of a dual thing for us. Thank you.
A lot of us
Thank you.
have staff available, so that's a great resource that we all have.
Thank you.
I see
Jackie,
Arthur. Oh, go ahead.
Jackie, real
Sorry.
quick. My name is Marcus Holcomb from Shields for Families, Spot 6, Los Angeles. How will I be able to contact everyone? Because we have 140 people on this call right now. So will we be exchanging emails and things like that? How would that work?
That is a great question. If everybody's okay with it, I'm sure we're happy to share contacts. I see a lot of heads. Yeah. I don't know. We could.
We're gonna
Yeah.
be breaking out into breakout rooms by
Okay.
areas, and that way you have folks that are closest to you in your area in
Gotcha.
a space where you all can actually talk and coordinate and get each other information. But
Okay,
we're
great.
hoping that everybody that has resources in this call is also inputting their information in the sheet that we
Mhm.
shared. And then that way everybody has access to the different resources that different folks might have in this space.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks, Jenny.
I know
Arthur, I see your hands, and then Ayende as well.
Yes, ma'am. So I just wanted to say my name is Arthur. I am in the Antelope Valley. I do work closely with Allende, Sanctuary of Hope, and a lot of other nonprofits up here, but I am a owner of a logistics company. So if people have anything as in supplies that can be moved, like dry supplies in the cargo vans, you can coordinate with me and I'll get someone from my company to come down and pick it up and drop it off somewhere that you may need it. Also, if you have an actual nonprofit where you have actual disadvantaged or low income people who need their some of the things like intangibles or what do you call it, heirloom type stuff moved into a storage area and they already have the storage unit purchased and they just need help with the transportation of those items in one place to another. I will offer up my company to do that as much bandwidth that I have, available for it. Obviously a small company, so maybe I got 10 cargo vans at any point to be able to help out with something like that. So
Thank you. Much appreciated. And we're definitely going to be able to, as Jenny said, like when we break out into the area groups, can connect people maybe more directly.
Quick, Jackie, just for my team, on the sheet, I don't know if we had transportation as a need.
Oh,
So just,
yeah.
And I know we have providers of transportation on this call. Thank you. Not trying to call anybody out, but
yeah, so we try to categorize to make it super easy to find what you need. But I don't think we had transportation, so we might need that. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I think after Allende goes, then we could sort of talk more about the breakout rooms and the sheets so that it seems like people are already kind of taking us there. Yeah.
I'm adding now to the.
I'm sorry, Marissa, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think she was done. Yeah, she's adding transportation to the sheet.
Okay.
Um,
My name is Allende Love. I'm with Gifted Arts and Activism and Sanctuary of Hope. Work very closely with Arthur and Christian, who's listed on this call as well. I just wanted to say we have a consolidated list of impacted families, and they have their GoFundMe's up as well. So there's a list of Black impacted families who have lost their homes within Altadena and in that area as well, that have all been placed upon one list, and all of their GoFundMe links are added onto that. So if we have so I'll send that link over in there as well. And then also through our Adams office, which is down in obviously West Adams, but where we can house there as well. If they're looking to leave out of the area and then come up to the Antelope Valley, they can use our office here. We just don't have the overnight capacity yet, but they can use our office up until overnight.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I'll explain the breakout rooms and we'll go over the sheet. And then if there's more sort of stuff for the larger group after the breakout rooms, maybe come back to this conversation, because I think a lot of the connection will be done in the actual breakout rooms. So we have a bunch of questions that you can talk about in your breakout rooms if you want to talk about how you're doing at this point. What are the needs in your community? Sort of the things you're already talking about. What resources does your group already have? So it's basically trying to match the needs and the resources in the area. And then if there's time in the breakout room, you can also talk about like what next steps could you see, whether it's within your group or some things that ExpandLA maybe could do as far as next steps, like can we convene again? We're going to put all these questions, you'll have them in the chat for the breakout rooms. And then you'll pick which of the areas you want to go to for the breakout room. So you can go, it doesn't mean your organization is in a particular area. If you have, I think some of you were mentioning, you might have resources in a particular area. So you just choose whichever area is relevant to you at the moment. But you can still put resources on the actual Excel sheet. So Jenny's going to go through the sheet right now, just so everybody can see what we're talking about with the sheet if you haven't looked at it yet.
Yes, so really quickly, if I could, is someone screen sharing the sheet, or I can do it real quick?
So if you can do it actually while you're in your breakout, if you want, or whenever it makes sense to start putting, some people already started adding to it.
Great. So if you haven't already taken a look at the document, we do have two main tabs. One is the needs assessment tab. So if you are a organization, partner, entity that has any resources needs, this is where you would go to fill out the document and list your needs, description of the needs and quantity if possible, the location where that need is. And then as you all receive anything or start meeting any needs, if you all can update the status, that would be really helpful, because then folks who have resources, if they're reaching out, they can see if something has been already filled and can focus on like who has it still like a gap. After that, the organization's information is going to help for anyone that is looking to contact those who are in need. So please fill out your organization's name, email, your person who might be the point of contact, a phone number, and any additional information that you think might be helpful. For folks who are offering resources, thank you all so much for already sharing them out loud and in the chat. You all would be sharing your information in the second tab. So adding like, what are the resources that you're offering? If possible, what is the quantity that you have? What are the locations of the resources? And what is the status? So is the resource still available? Are you out of the resource? Are you capped out? And then what is the information for the organization? Candy, you might be unmuted. So if I can take any questions in regards to the document, we did add, because, for example, someone jumped in the beginning talking about the Pasadena efforts. There's this mutual aid, also additional resource. So we just added that in case that's helpful for folks. But definitely we can focus on adding the needs and resources, and then the needs and resource tabs, so that we can start connecting folks. So I'll stop sharing. And is there any questions in regards to the document?
It's hard to see everyone. I don't know. I'm assuming if no one's asking.
Yes.
Okay.
So we can go into the breakout rooms, and we'll put the questions in the chat again, just to support conversation. But we are going to be focusing on really connecting you all to each other. And like Jackie mentioned, we did.
Yes. Do we have your information?
We
Okay. If we could just your name and your email.
Jenny, you're unmuted.
So yeah, each you can pick your area once the areas come up on your screen and go into whichever breakout room you choose. There'll be an ExpandLA team member in every room to take notes. So we can take notes. I mean, you can take yours if you like. And we'll have 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes in the breakout rooms.
Can I share a resource for everyone?
Sure. You could put it on the sheet, would be great.
Or do you want to really quick? Just
Oh, verbally. Yeah.
Really quick, for anyone who does not know, there's an amazing organization called the Jewish Free Loan Association. They are providing 0% interest loans up to $15,000 for anyone who has been impacted. And that's if you qualify. If you do not qualify, they are also offering up to $2,000. And you can go directly to their website, and you can apply. And all you need to apply is a ID and a needs statement. And they can pretty much push through anything within 24 hours to a week at the most. You have 3 years for a 0% interest loan. And I can't tell you how fabulous this organization is. We've worked with them, and I think there's something that not only individuals can use, but also businesses, because they provide resources if you have a business and you've lost that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I-
So I believe the breakout rooms have been opened. If you have any technical difficulties, let us know so that we can place you in the correct breakout room.
Jenny, this may just be me, but I don't see the breakout room options yet popping up. Maybe there's a little delay.
You can click on breakout rooms in your band, and you should also be able to see the options.
It's not available, at least on my toolbar, the breakout room button. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't-
mine either.
I don't see them either.
Uh-oh, technical difficulty.
Bless you.
Saray, do you know how to
I'm
fix
gonna
that?
try closing them.
So it says that it says it's broadcast or that they're all open. So I'm looking to see.
Hey, Jackie, while we wait, and thanks
Yeah.
again for bringing us together for sure. Is the Google spreadsheet available to share with anyone without a request for access?
That's a good question. Does
Yes.
Jenny? Yeah.
Okay, I want to pass this on to a few folks, and I just wanted to make sure.
Ah,
Thank you.
great. Thank you. Yeah, all the information.
Yeah, share it far and wide. It's in the email that with the invitation to the meeting. You could share that email with folks and it has the link to the sheet.
Thank you so much, Lou.
And
Welcome.
we'll send a follow-up too with the recording. And we'll resend out the sheet and any other resources that come in.
There's an aspect of unnecessary guidance that's here. So right now there's a lot of like we have a lot of approaches of what do you need, but I think that it's very important in this moment to make sure that we shift that narrative to a level of guidance. Only because the impact of this situation can cause a lot of confusion and frustration, and people may not know what to do at all, and or where to start or where to begin or any of those things whatsoever. So I think that if we do not center this around a small, very direct 3-point thing that is based in the principle before the personal is going to unveil itself as we go along, and we're going to know that this person's personal need comes here. But just being impacted by your fires, here's 3 things that you need to do next, and giving that to the public so that they have a very sound, very clear direction on what to do next before seeking and then going into the personal aspects that they need to be able to do is going to be like extremely crucial, because the level of frustration can cause a lot of stagnancy within people, just simply not knowing what to do whatsoever. So that they'll sit there and then their needs will grow and become even a harsher impact on them just because they don't know what the first step is. And I think if we could just give them that first step and guide them through the first 3 steps of what to do, it will become incredibly helpful for all the families impacted.
Okay. Thank you. What I'm thinking about, because I think we're going to end up convening again, if anyone even wants to help shape what that looks like, because you guys on the ground, to your point, Ayende, you kind of have a grasp on maybe what the next convening could look like with steps, things like that. So if anybody's interested in shaping any of the agenda moving forward, you could definitely let me know. But I hear you about that for sure. I've heard that before too. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. If anything else is burning, we'll definitely put stuff in the chat right now. Any next steps, or if you want to stay, I think we could stay on for a few minutes, but I want to make sure if anybody else can't stay.
Will we have access to that document link for a little bit longer? Because it's not working.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
not working.
absolutely. It'll be
Yeah,
ongoing.
the document will stay live.
Okay,
And
perfect.
we
The
will
document will stay
resend
live.
out. Oh, sorry. We're gonna do a follow-up. We'll send out the recording. We'll send the link out again. And any other notes that came out of the groups. Yeah, we'll send a follow-up to everyone.
And please make sure your email's in that document somewhere so that we can copy it and add it to the next steps email.
Yeah.
Jackie, also will the agenda be attached with that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Anything else we need to know before we depart?
Sam from Greater
Yeah,
LA
one
Foundation.
just really quick note. So we have started a recovery fund. We're the foundation on behalf of the County Office of Education and can through LACO coordinate with district leadership and support sort of local recovery efforts. So we've started a recovery fund that will be dedicated to all of those elements. One thing that we imagine there will be needs around are things like enrichment programs and support, and just like aligned things like books and games and things like that for kids and families. So we like are thinking about what some of those elements might involve looking forward. We don't have like a fully defined sort of investment recovery strategy yet for use of funds, but just wanted to share this as a resource. I can put the link to that in the chat, and want to share it as a potential platform for support, and then how some of our initial thinking about opportunities for how to support folks that have been sort of directly affected by the fires. And I could also share we're working with the LUSD, who has in their foundation. So we're going to try to coordinate sort of how we can support schools through all of it. But just wanted to share that. I can put
thank you,
the
Sam.
link to that in the chat.
Can I ask a follow-up? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Sam, really fast. Do you know how many schools have been destroyed or are never coming back? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Sam, as a next step, we're going to do a quick survey that's going to help us, at least the folks that are participating here, give us a sense of what the youth needs are.
Yep.
Happy to share that with you as well.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
And I think Christopher Jefferson, I think he's at the PCC, it looks like.
Hey, yeah, just reporting live, I guess, from PCC. Really, we are turning away donations. There's so much stuff here. And we know the victims. We've actually, this is the outdoor, but the first floor indoor parking lot over there is entirely full of donations. And so what we really need, because we can't get victims here, is for organizations that know families, that have access to families, to come down here and just grab as much stuff as you can. There is I wish I could walk around and show you all just how much stuff is here, from food to diapers. There's like 40 tables full of clothing. And so if you have families in need and they can't get here, come and get it for them. You can even set up your own small distribution with the items that we have here. If you are an NFL fan, Bryce Young is down here giving stuff out from the Carolina Panthers. You can come meet him. He's taking pictures with the kids and loading water into people's vans and trucks. But there's just
Chris,
a lot of stuff here.
Would you mind sharing where you are
We're in lot
currently?
3, which is the student parking lot of Pasadena City College. All the hot food here is free as well. So just wanted to encourage you all to come down. This is not even a quarter of the stuff that we have here. So please come down if you can.
And
we'll be here till 8 p.m. today, and then 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Give everyone a friendly reminder that their trauma levels are going to go up. And let's be respectful and not call people victims. Let's call people people. Let's call people experiencers. Let's call people who have been impacted by, but not victim. Thank you.
Thank you
for that. Yeah.
We will share also, because in our breakout room, the Altadena Pasadena breakout room, we talked about like how to get organizations to go pick up and do mini distribution. So we'll also send that as a next step to let people know. We'll work on the email right as we close this meeting and get that out to folks to let them know that they can go pick up items at PCC.
I was just wanting to put a period at the end of, somebody else said this as well, is that we're talking about right now immediate needs, right? But as decisions are made by officials at the county, city level, the school districts, we will have those changes those things will be evolving, right? So I see a real need for you know, like the child care, even if parents aren't working, having a place for their kids during the day that have been displaced so that they can make decisions about their families and relocation and trying to get the resources that they need. So I look forward to ExpandLA reconvening so that we can get information out to the people who need it, you know, throughout this time, because if schools are closed next week, there's going to be transportation needs, there's going to be all kinds of stuff.
Thanks, Kim.
Anything else?
I just have one last announcement, sorry. I know there are a lot of collection things happening. Dignity Health Sports Park, for those who are in the South Bay, will be also doing a drive on Saturday and Sunday. So just wanted you to know that that's a way that you can help if you're in that area as well.
Thank you.
I just want to say, before we close, Jackie, that the nonprofit organizations are basically the heartbeat of our communities, and we're the ones that are working with families and children and youth. So our work is so important, and it's really, really important. And I'm really happy to see that we are working together collectively to solve a lot of these issues that are happening in our communities. And hopefully, to Kim's point, that we're also helping to shape policies moving forward, because we're usually like the folks that get involved to help solve a lot of the problems, but we're not at the table when it comes to making policy decisions that impact our community. So this is another opportunity for us to work collectively. But thank you for everything that you do, and for caring, you know, for our children and youth and communities. And I know we'll be continuing to meet. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.